Factors affecting the attention span of ABM senior high students in Baliwag Polytechnic College is the title of our study. We came up with this title since we noticed students lose concentration in class. We are interested in learning what factors or causes are affecting their attention span. We also want to teach the students how to focus better in class. Chapter 1. The problem and its background. Here I will discuss the introduction, statement of the problem, assumption of the study, significance of the study, scope and delimitations of the study, scope and limitations of the study, and the definition of terms. Introduction. According to David, students' interest and level of understanding in general determine their concentration in class. Good attention is determined by interest, and an attentive student's activities are constantly motivated by interest. Students, one of their intrinsic drivers for effective class participation is interest. The more zeal and zeal they possess, the more their interest and focus, the more attention they will give to the lesson. Statement of the problem. We, the researchers, aim to determine the attention span of ABM students at senior high school in Baliwag Polytechnic College. Assumption of the study. The study focused on the factors affecting the attention span of the students. The following assumptions were made. 1. There are various factors affecting the attention span of the students. 2. The factors affecting the students' attention span are mostly personal. Significance of the study. This study aimed to provide valuable information about the attention span of ABM students at Baliwag Polytechnic College. Students. Through statistics and surveys, the students will learn about their attention spans and be made aware of any purposeful or unintentional distractions they may have that could reduce their productivity. Teachers. The information presented will make the teachers aware of the length of time that the students can pay attention during lectures if online distancing is engaged. School. The research may help the school to identify how long or how short the duration of focus of the students is. Parents. Through this study, parents will know if their children will pay attention and focus on their school. Future researchers. Researchers looking into a related topic in the future may use this study as a reference and a guide. Scope and the limitations of the study. Given that the study's goal was achieved, there are still certain obstacles to be addressed. Due to time constraints, the researchers decided to only focus on grade 12 ABM students at Baliwag Polytechnic College. Since the study was done across almost a month, more time was required for data collection. Scope and limitations of the study. The study only focuses on ABM senior high students in Baliwag Polytechnic College. The study relies on self-reported data gathered through surveys or interviews, which may be subject to response bias or social desirability bias. The study may not consider other factors that could affect attention span, such as sleep patterns, diet, and physical activity, among others. Definition of terms. 1. Intrinsic. Considering their own values, beliefs, interests, and wants, persuade individuals to follow specific behaviors or goals. 2. Pertinent. Refers to something that is pertinent to or appropriate to a specific topic or issue. 3. Zeal. Is a term that denotes intense emotion or enthusiasm for a cause or objective. Another way to put it is a passionate or strong dedication. 4. Prolonged. Is an adjective to describe something that lasts longer than usual or what is anticipated to last for a long time. 5. Array. A systematic arrangement or display of objects in a certain sequence or pattern. 6. Interfere or impede. Means to hinder, obstruct, or slow down the progress or movement of someone or something. 7. Vying. A phrase that, depending on the situation, might mean several things. It often alludes to battling or attempting to achieve something. 8. Gratification. Refers to the enjoyment or contentment one feels after attaining or doing something they seek. 9. Accustomed. Meaning to be familiar with something, usually as a result of exposure or frequent experience. 10. Interpersonal connections. Refers to the connections and exchanges that people have with one another.
Chapter 2. Review of Related Literature.
First, effect of mental health on attention span of student. The environment and the type of task have an impact on the person's attention span. Some people are better at maintaining their focus on certain activities for longer periods than others, such as gaming, reading, or talking. Environment with lots of distraction can make it harder to pay focus. Attention span. What this means of attention span, a person's attention span is the amount of time typically takes them to lose interest in tasks at hand. They will soon become distracted and lose interest in the task, despite the fact that children's attention span can vary. Internal factors that affect attention span. Internal causes that affect student focus in the class can include student physical and personal traits. For actual, for instance, it will be difficult for pupils to maintain their concentration if they are ill, hungry, and fatigued. External factors that affect attention span. Family problem, various challenges and families face, such as unfaithfulness, aggression, and separation, have a significant negative impact on the student academic achievement. Distraction in online class versus traditional classes. As online video lecture rapidly gain popularity in formal and informal learning environments, one of their main challenges in student attention, the study investigated the influence of adding interactive to online video lecture on student attention span. Background and interactivity is perceived as increasing the attention span of learner and improving the quality of learning. However, interactivity may be regarded as an interruption which distracts students. Conceptual framework. The variable of primary interest to this research is the factor of attention span of senior high student at Baliwag Polytechnic College. The independent focus is on factors of attention span, emotional, physical, and mental affecting the subject variable of the ABM's senior high student in Baliwag Polytechnic College.
Chapter 3, Research Design. In this study, the researcher will use descriptive research. A population circumstance or pneumonia is intended to be correctly and methodically described through descriptive study. What, where, when, and how. Inquiries can be answered, but why question cannot. Numerous research techniques to look one or more factors in this type of study. Shona McCombs. The research will be conducted to study the attention span of students in online class, wherein the grade 12 students of Baliwag Polytechnic College from ABM students will be participants. The students will be asked to fill out a prior electronic survey to gather the data needed for the actual data gathering regarding their attention span. Sampling procedures. Non-probability sampling. You can readily gather data using non-probability sampling, which involves non-random selection based on convenience or other criteria. Convenience sampling. A convenience sampling only consists of those who are convenient and most accessible to the investigation, though it is quick and affordable. This method cannot yield general convenience sampling. A convenience of samples only consists of those who are conveniently the most accessible to the investigator, though it's quick and affordable. This method cannot yield generalizable conclusion because it is impossible to determine whether the sample is typical of the population. The safety of convenience samples is under jeopardy bias in selection and sampling. Respondent subject. The study's respondents were students from Baliwag Polytechnic College. The target population for the study is ABM Senior High School. These students are more conscious of their immediate environment. They are the ones that the researcher have found to be most accessible. 191 students were selected to participate in the survey. Research instrument. The research will use survey in this study to gather the necessary data for this study. Both closed and open-ended questions are necessary. The researchers made the decision to come up with reliable and balanced questions that would show the students' attention span at Baliwag Polytechnic College. Before gathering data, they also ensured that the question go through a validation process. Data gathering. To gather the data needed for this study, the researchers will conduct a survey to the ABM senior high students in Baliwag Polytechnic College, specifically in Section A, B, C, and D. The researcher will seek approval from every class teacher before conducting the survey. After looking for respondents to collect specific data for the study, the researcher will conduct a quick survey study. The survey will be conducted using a Google form and in a person paper survey. The information needed for the study will be discussed with the students in question.
Chapter 4, Presentation, Analysis, and Interpretation of Data. This chapter will be focused on the research outcomes. It is separated into two distinct parts. The first shows the characteristics of population of the respondents such as their age, sex, gender, level, and section, while the second shows the outcomes of survey's response. This chapter explores the data acquired to determine what learning modalities are effective and what disrupts the attention span of ABM's senior high students of Baliwag Polytechnic College. First figure, age. According to the chart above, out of 191 respondents, 126 of the respondents were between the age of 15 and 17. 62 of the respondents were between the age of 18 and 20, and 3 of the respondents were between the age of 21 and 23. Figure 2, sex. The graph shows the number of males and females responded at Baliwag Polytechnic College. There are 191 students, 135 are female while the 56 left were male. Figure 3, grade level. The chart above shows the grade level of our survey respondents. Out of 191 respondents, 101 of the respondents are grade 12 students, while the remaining 90 of the respondents are grade 11 students. Figure 4, section. The chart above shows what section in senior high our survey respondents come from. Out of 191 respondents, 39 students are from section A, 56 students are from section B, 40 students are from section C, and 56 students are from section D. Figure 5. Does sleepiness affect your attention span? For the first question, the students were asked if sleepiness affect their attention span. Out of 191 students, 171 answered yes, and 20 answered no. Figure 6. Does hunger affect your attention span? The participants were asked if hunger affected their attention span. Out of 191 students, 160 participants answered yes, and 31 answered no. Figure 7. Do family problems affect your attention span? 80.1% said yes. Figure 8. What family problems affect your attention span? Out of 191 students, 117 answered financial problems, 39 answered broken family, 12 answered physical abuse, 4 answered no, 4 answered no comment, 4 answered none, 2 answered none, 2 answered arguing, 1 answered lack of family presence, 1 answered other, 1 answered if others specified, 1 answered annoying, 1 answered prefer not to say, 1 answered argument, 1 answered other, and 1 answered nothing. Therefore, the statistic shows that most ABM students with a total percentage of 61.3 financial problems affecting their attention span. 20.4 broken family affecting their attention span. 6.3 physical abuse affecting their attention span. 2.1 no or nothing on this question affecting their attention span. 2.1 no comment or wanted a privacy about this. 2.1 none or nothing affecting their attention span in this question. 1% none or nothing affecting their attention span in this question. 1% arguing affecting his or her attention span. 0.5 lack of family presence affecting his or her attention span. 5.0% if others specified. Other affecting their attention span. 5.0 annoying affecting their attention span. 5.0 prefer not to say or something is affecting his or her attention span. 5.0 arguing affecting his or her attention span. And last, 5.0 affecting his or her attention span. Figure 9. Do financial problems affect your attention span? Out of 191 respondents, 159 participants answered yes, and 32 answered no. Figure 10. Do anxiety affect your attention span? Out of 191 respondents, 163 said that anxiety was affecting their attention span, while 28 said that it didn't affect their attention span. Figure 11. Does family pressure affect your attention span? Out of 191 students, 19.9 respondents said anxiety did not affect their attention span, while 13% said family pressure did. Figure 12. Does being a member of a broken family affect your attention span? Out of 191 students, 61% answered yes. 38.2 said no. Figure 13. Does bullying affect your attention span? Out of 191 respondents, 129 students answered yes, while 62 students answered no. Figure 14. Does peer pressure affect your attention span? Out of 191 students, 144 respondents answered yes, and 47 people answered no. Figure 15. Do toxic friends affect your attention span? Out of 191 students, 127 students who answered yes, and 64.7 answered no. Figure 16. Does your monthly allowance hinder you from getting attentive during face-to-face classes? A total of 84 students answered yes, while 107 students answered no. Figure 17. Does having a good internet connection make you more attentive during online classes? It shows that 81.2% of our respondents, or 155 of them, make them more attentive during online classes when they have a good internet connection, while 18.8% or 36 respondents said that they are not affected by having good internet. Figure 18. Do household chores distract you during online classes? Out of 191 students, 80.1 said yes, 19.9 said no. Figure 19. Does the learning process increase when students are interested in the discussion? Out of 191 participants, 89 students strongly agree that their learning process increased. 76 agreed, 16 said they are neutral or disagreed, and 6 participants strongly disagreed. Figure 20. Does the learner gain knowledge when their attention span increases? Out of 191 participants, 76 students agreed, and 25 said they are neutral, 9 disagreed, and 1 strongly disagreed. Figure 21. How distracted are you during face-to-face classes? Out of 191 participants, 27 students are very distracted, 58 are distracted, 80 said they are neutral, 18 students are not distracted, and 9 students disagree. Figure 22. How distracted are you during online classes? Out of 191 participants, 48 students are very distracted, 71 are distracted, 56 students said they are neutral, 9 are not distracted, and 7 disagree.
Chapter 5. Summary of findings. The summary of findings of the study were summarized according to the result of data analysis in Chapter 4. In this section of the study, the researchers reviewed that and assessed the information acquired of the attention span of ABM students at Baliwag Polytechnic College. The fifth question revealed that sleepiness affects most of the ABM students in Baliwag Polytechnic College. On the sixth question, 160 out of 191 respondents agreed that hunger affects their attention span. The result of seventh question, 153 students reported that family problems affect their attention span higher for those who did not. Eighth question shows that the financial problems affect their attention spans the most. The ninth question asked 159 respondents if their financial problems impairs their attention span. Question number 10. Demonstrate that 163 students' anxiousness affects their attention span. According to the 11th question, 153 students' family peer pressure affect their attention span. The fact that 12 questions, 118 said yes suggests that the majority of 191 students are members of broken family. On the 13th question, 129 students indicated that bullying had an impact on their attention span. In the response of the 14 questions, most of the respondents stated that peer pressure has an impact on their attention span. The majority of 191 students' attention span has affected when they have toxic friends. According to the 15th question, the majority of 191 respondents' attention span is affected when they have a toxic friend. The 16th question reveals that the most of the respondents believe that monthly allowance has no effect in their attention span. The 17th question reveals that the majority of the students' attention span is affected when their connection is good. The 18th question reveals that the most of the respondents are distracted when they have a household chores. The 19th question, specifically, the most of the participants agree that their learning process increases when they become interested in discussion. The 20th question, majority of the participants felt that they gain knowledge when their attention spans increase. The 21st question, the last question is specifically, the students enrolled under online classes gets more distracted during the discussion of face-to-face classes. Conclusion. Who are the most respondents in this research? Age. The data collected shows that most of the respondents belong to the age group between the ages of 15 and 17 years old. Sex. The data collected shows that most of the respondents were female. Section and strand. The data collected shows that most of the respondents are from Section B of ABM. What are the factors affect the attention span of the students? Physical. Data collected shows the majority of hungriness can affect the attention span. As a result of the students cannot focus with an empty stomach. Mental. The data collected shows that anxiety affecting their attention span. Anxiety affects students since their minds are full of thoughts. Emotional. Most of the students answered family pressure affected their attention span. Social. The majority of the students indicated that peer pressure is a factor of their attention span's problem, considering that it occurs when students act in a ways that will make their peers feel like they value and accept them. When do the students become most tentative? Face-to-face. Most of the students answered that they are not distracted in the face-to-face classes. For this reason, students can concentrate better in a classroom. In a face-to-face education, that there are fewer distractions, students required to pay attention to the teachers or schoolwork at a certain period. Online. Students are less tentative in the online due to the fact that students who have issue with anxiety, attention, or learning challenges may struggle to adapt the different expectation and format in online classes. Number 4, do you think that attention span is important in a learning process to sustain the interest of learners? Students must focus on what they are studying and what will lead to learning. Therefore, the researchers includes that the most of the students will focus and give their attention when they are interested in the discussion they have. Also, most of the students agree that they absorb and they are gaining knowledge when their attention span increases. Is there any significance between the attention spans under the face-to-face classes enrolled in the online distance learning? Attention spans during the face-to-face classes and online class is automatically different, in which way, on the other hand, the researchers conclude that the students are neutral in terms of distraction during the face-to-face classes. And when it comes to online distance learning, most of the students are distracted.
Recommendation. The researchers didn't only gain knowledge throughout this day, but also wisdom and mastery of the craft. This study proposes that future researchers explore other variables that may influence attention span. Thus, the following research recommendations. For parents, the researchers propose that they recognize the impact of family problems on their child, supporting and assisting their child to be more aware of the factors that may affect their attention span is vital. For students, the researchers recommend making people aware of the impact of many factors as they encounter them daily to keep students. For the students, the researchers recommend making people aware of impact of many factors as they encounter them daily to keep students from seeing things or making judgments the way they usually would. They must pay attention to how they feel and make themselves literate because many studies have stated that it affects their attention span. For teachers, the standards of way teaching in a school, face-to-face class, is being replaced by online and modular learning. As a result, the researchers advise them to become more approachable and considerate of parents and students to achieve satisfaction. For future researchers, in-depth analysis is highly advised of how multiple factors affect attention span. They could explore other procedures and avoid the limitations that the researcher encountered. The current researchers strongly recommend that there is a need to explore and add more variables regarding to this kind of research study.